Generic greetings and welcome back once again to Prison Architect, where in the previous episode we found out what happens when a legendary gang leader arms themselves and then tries to break out through a security room and... I think we might find out again. Okay, this is not expected. What happened was the other gang leader tried to break out through the security room when it was occupied by an armed guard and a sniper. End result, not good for anyone involved. The gang leader was shot and killed. The armed guards obviously had to do all of that dirty work, and then because of all of that, all of the gang members of that particular gang kicked off and there was a riot, which meant we had to stop that, and we managed to get it under control fairly quickly without any serious incidents, so I'm happy about that. But either way, damage was done, so overall I would just say you're probably best avoiding that. We also finished off this cell block here, cell block C, so in terms of building there is not a lot extra to build. We've got, that danger level going right up, let me just end the punishment there. We've got this cell block D here, we've got a little bit of building down here, we've got the common rooms to finish off, as well as this visitation, and then a whole extra bit of flooring to be added pretty much on the far right hand side and actually in the centre bit here as well. So in terms of building, there wasn't a great deal to do, but we were going to take our time on that and just sort of progress on and see what we can do and change and then go for an expansion. However, that's not going to be the case anymore because the big update is out. It's called the Slammer and it's added loads of new stuff. It's got loads of different changes and tweaks and loads of quality of life changes as well. So I'm going to go through some of that now. It's not going to be an exhaustive list certainly, but I'll go through some of the pertinent ones and some of the more interesting ones, and then we're going to continue on building and probably finish this off in the next couple of episodes. I don't want to abandon it, I really don't like doing that, but we're certainly not going to go for any sort of big expansion or anything like that, because a lot of the stuff that's been introduced I would really like to have in this prison, and although yes we can retrofit it, I don't think it's worth the effort. I think we're probably best just starting again, but we also want to finish this off too and make sure we can get the challenge sort of ticked off and completed. So let's just have a quick look on the left hand side. You can see it says the Slammer update 17th of September 2019. I'm actually recording that on that day, so it's only been out about 5 hours now, this update. So it says new items, new floor tiles, we've got great mud sci-fi, a new secure door with food flap, a new set of lights, new trees, and more new objects. So we'll go over to the standard sort of building thing here, and we can see there's now a little sort of star that denotes some new stuff. So we've got things like mud over there, we've got grates there, we've got this sort of metal panel as well, which is pretty cool. You can also filter these now, so you can filter the list by default, A to Z, cost, high to low, or high to low, high, outdoor, indoor, and then default. So the sorting function is pretty good, and we've also got obviously search function there as well. In terms of objects, there's loads of new stuff. So you've got like a snowy tree, you've got a palm tree, you've got like a floodlight that goes outside, and all of these do rotate, and that actually looks pretty cool. You've got a shower pillar there. A lot of this was shown off in one of the live streams as well. You've also got things, this guard pavilion there. So what's that say? Place in yards and open areas for guards and armed guards to watch over your prisoners. Assign guards via the deployment menu. Increases the level of suppression in that area. Guards are sheltered from the weather. So that is really cool. So we would like to put them in and around here, but as you can see, they wouldn't fit in. So that's why I don't want to retrofit it up. We've also got another one here, which is a corner piece, so we can rotate them around like those 4 sections, so we can say, right, that bit goes in that one there, then we'll go for that one in, would be that one there, then there, and then yeah, there. So for whatever reason the rotate thing is flipping from one to the other like that. It's going like that, I don't know why, but anyway. You've also got things like, you obviously see it's still contextual, so we can zoom into, for example, the laundry here, and we can see we've got a small ironing board now. It functions exactly the same as this table as well. You've got a table small now, so it's only a 2x1 rather than a 4x1, so that's a bit different. You've got, like I say, loads of other things that's been added as well. So we've got like a doormat, which it's just like a aesthetic thing, but it's all good. We've got a nice office chair there, which perfectly is aligned right in the center. So yes, we can now have an office chair right in the middle. Sigh of relief. Only took 7 years. I don't think it's that long, but it's certainly quite a while. Could be 5 plus. Anyway, I digress. We've also got, if we go over to here to the yard, we've got, they're called bleachers, just basically some stacked seating arrangements for here. What else? We've got phone booths in there. We can also filter this by, can you filter this by anything else? It is Z, cost, low, high, quantity, by room. So filter it by room. So if we just go right into there, yes, it just completely removes anything that isn't in that room. So that room there, you zoom right out, you go over to here, you can see it's there. Or bookshelves have a, when you place them, will have like a green area around them, and they now fulfill literacy needs, I believe. So that's fairly cool. So that's just some of the new items, just a small amount of them, you understand. There's a couple of others in there as well, but yeah, that's a nice little addition. We've got obviously like things like floodlights, street lights, wall lights, all of that sort of thing. There's also been some changes to these buildings. There's been you can also now rotate things around more. I know the last update did add more rotation options, but they've added some more of that. In terms of the cameras, you can now see they're slightly different. You've got this sort of red light that denotes where the front of it is. I know there was a mod to put a little arrow on it, but this is a little bit better because it just shows you, well, we know for sure that that is the front there, which is fairly cool as well. And other little tweaks and changes when it comes to that sort of thing. Let's go back over to here and we'll go to next, and we can just read down it. So we've got more options for borderless window, moving objects, I'll show you that in a moment. We've got new menu items and filters, I've shown you that. Doors can now be quickly built on walls, yeah, we can. And we've got different options for deployment. We've now got 10 times game speed, so you can press that and yeah, 10 times game speed. Also, what's really good is something that this cropped up the other day as well, I believe, in one of the videos. As you can see now, the snipers carry jail keys, so they can go between these different areas. Excellent. This is fantastic. We even mentioned it there because they couldn't go through. Now also dogs will be allowed to go through the doors. Like, they don't have their own set of keys, obviously. It just says Cooper carrying jail keys. No, it does actually carry jail keys. Oh, and you might notice they have names. So Mike, Crockett, Caboose, Eliza, you get the idea. Steve! We have Steve the guard. They now have names on them, which is fairly cool. I wonder if the other staff members have. Yeah, they do. Yes, so we have Casey the cook and Cooper the cook. Apparently Cooper's a common one. And the cook. That's tickled me a little bit, that one. The cook. And Fred, okay, not as good as the cook, but anyway, you can see this in there. So what I was going to say, oh yes, deployments. We've got a deployment, and it has changed quite a bit. You can now assign guards, well, you could always assign guards to rooms like that. However, you can now do the same for armed guards and dogs, so it just assigns them, instead of having to put them on patrol routes, you can assign them to the rooms like you did previously. Patrols have changed. They're now another own little tab, and you now have a blue and magenta patrols. So the difference being that if you want to say put a blue patrol and then a magenta patrol like that, it means they won't cross each other. So when we have things like this, we know that we can set up multiple ones and they're not going to bump into each other. You can also go through and then they will change white like that to denote that there's like a crossing point, but they're still classed as separate patrols. So if I assign someone onto, for example, a guard onto that one and a dog handler onto that one, like that, it means that that will only go on the blue, which is around the outside, and the other one will only go onto the magenta, including that one there as well. So that's another nice little addition. I assume, perhaps wrongly, that that could be very easily expanded to a lot more colours, and I wouldn't mind seeing that and just have multiple ones of that. Or you can also now prioritise patrol routes. So I can say prioritise one on that. So that now basically says, look, if you've got a shortage of staff members, make sure that this one is a higher priority than the rest of it. So take it from elsewhere before you take it there. You can also put it up to a triple arrow as well. So that's normal priority, higher, highest. So there you go. So yeah, pretty cool. What else did I want to mention? I wanted to remove that there, which is now done. Cool. I don't know if they're going to put in a open patrol, so you can just, it can go on anything, or whether they're going to add more colours, as I said, but we'll have to see how that one goes. But that's a fairly big change. In terms of quick build, the cloning now apparently has been increased, so yeah, you can pretty much build an entire building in one go, and insufficient funds apparently. But it's very good to know that we could do that, which I'll probably be using later on. In terms of rotation, you don't have to deconstruct and then move things or anything. You can just double click and then you move it around and then place it where you want, and then the order is sent to the standard workers and they'll bring it and move it and stuff like that. So yeah, you can now just double click on anything and then move it. So if you don't want it there, you can move it over there. Still cancel it, still I'll do that sort of thing. You can double click on a brick wall and it will give you the options for putting in some more doors. So we've got a door there. large shield door. You still have to select the door, but it's there. This is some different ones as well. We've got some fence gate standard, so it looks like the fencing, and it looks a lot better. So we got the fence gate, we got some, oh, that's a standard one, that is a staff one, and we now have also a visitor door and or gate and a visitor door. So that means that, say for example in here and there, we can change that to a visitor one. So at the moment it's just a standard door, which basically doesn't mean anything other than they are separate rooms. Whereas the visitor one means that the prisoners can't go through it because it has to be visitors to go through, whereas anyone can go through the door. So that's good. It means that we don't have to either escort people to the visitation if there are secure doors, but it also means that if we have a slightly less secure system like this, when we've just got standard doors, we can alter it and put them doors in for the visitors, and do the same with the chapel and stuff like that. Any visitors that come in. So again, really nice one there. Also, one that I thought is really interesting. It'll be in doors as well. We've now got a door secure. So can I go down? Can we see any difference in it? Yes, we can. You might notice there's a little flap at the bottom of that door. That means that it says, well, it's a door designed for solitary cells featuring a food flap. Guards delivering food may pass the tray through the door without needing to enter the cell. So instead of coming along and then opening the door, delivering the food, coming back, closing the door, all that delay, it just is simply passed through. Haven't tried it, but that is another cool one. And yes, we obviously could go ahead and retrofit it, as I've said, but it would just take quite a long time. What else do we have in this update? We have the clone tool being enlarged, yes. Enhanced deployment, yes. Rotations of more objects, yes, we're aware of that. You can start with bureaucracy or research when you start your game. You can have a new snow and jungle plot options when starting a new game. That's something we're certainly going to look at. So if we go to create new prison, you can say, right, jungle plot or snowbound. So that's cool. I've noticed here as well, see the warden? It's a lot smaller now. DLC incoming, I'm calling it now. It wouldn't surprise me at all. Let's also go over to extras, and you can see we can go to mutators now, and you can turn on and off mutators from this menu. So we can see that currently we've got gang warfare, all members or all prisoners are gang members, and the super guards mutators on. So you can turn on or off these. Previously, the only way to do it was to edit the save file, which could go all kinds of wrong. New quick links from the top of the HUD. I haven't tried that, but I'll try that in a second. Objects menu has some search function. Yes, we know. Option to have cleaner prisons. Alright, didn't know about that one. Staff and dogs names. Yes. Guard towers and shelter snipers from the weather. Yeah, that's something that was always a bit of a problem. That the people working outside, like the snipers here, this didn't class as a roof, so when it was raining, they would get wet and cold, and they really hated their job. Whereas now, they don't get that. So if I double click on, say, the day, it opens up the regime. I'll click on the bank. Oh yeah, daily cash flow. Alright, so you can click on any of these and it opens up that, so it's a bit more, we've got a bit more quick access there. There you go. Anything else really to go through? Snipers now carry jail keys, yes. Prisoners prioritise shower rooms before other prisoners' cell showers. CCTV shows prisoners and staff in warden mode. Warden mode, yeah, we tried that before and it was a nightmare. It was fun, but you wouldn't want to do it anytime soon, that's for sure. What else? We got bookcases, caters for literacy need. Guards stationed at machines won't abandon their post for searches and shakedowns. So if we do a shakedown, these 3 guards should not move from their stations. I will believe it when I see it. Quick room cell doors stay open until the room is completed. That's pretty good. Fixes for hedge visuals, fixes to metal detectors, fixes to water boiler not always connecting to pipes, and support for modders, etc. That's, like I say, not an exhaustive list. That is actually a little bit condensed from the patch notes I read earlier, and certainly I haven't gone through every single one of them line by line, but that is overall what you can expect, which is pretty cool. Right, so that has been just a quick overview of the new update. Now let's actually crack on with the building of this thing. So we have 32 grand, which sadly is not enough to completely clone this thing because we need 34 grand. However, we are receiving 2,413 a day. I put it up to 10 times speed there, so that is the new max speed. I don't know if there's been any performance increases, but it certainly seems there's less little micro stutters and such, although I don't know, I could just be reading too much into that and don't know, might be seeing things that ain't there. But anyway, it's running at 10 times without any great difficulty. That was our previous max speed. Now we have a 10 times, so I'm guessing that was just 5 times. So it's normal speed, 2.5 times, 5 times, 10 times, perhaps. I don't really know. I never really went out and worked all that out. We could take another bank loan. Yes, I'm going to increase that bank loan simply because I want to use this new clone tool. And let's just see, have we got the full thing? We've got the full thing, so technically this should... it says blocked, so we cannot... sadly, we cannot build the entire thing. We have to build the foundations first. So let's do that. Let me go and click and drag, and we'll do that. And then we also need to put in the walls and doors. So large jail door, which goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in. Is that correct? Yes, it's correct there, and it should be correct there as well. So, while the workers are cracking on with that, we shall see what else we can do over here, because we have lost a couple of staff members, specifically armed guards. Let's go to deployment, over to patrol tab, and we want to say assign armed guards, and I want to assign extra armed guards. I have a feeling this will be overhauled at some point, the deployment scheduler. And there we go. I've assigned 3 sets of armed guards. Sorry, we have an extra set of armed guards for this walky bit around here. Just because, well, it's the dangerous bit and we really want some more armed guards. And you can see now we've got these like little pop-ups to show where they're going past. And actually going past each other rather than sort of bumping into each other and then turning around, which is good. It's actually pretty good to look out as well. I don't know why that's saying no, you can't go in there. Interesting. Anyway, so we'll go over to our clone. You can see that has now finished that off. And this is where I probably should have turned off auto light, because this is almost certainly going to build too much here. Let's see what happens. All the lights are in the same place. No, they're not. Some of them are. Some of the lights are in the same place, but you now notice we're able to clone the entire cell block, which means there's less chance of us getting it wrong, and also it just saves time, so why wouldn't we do that? Brilliant. Obviously we need to put in the flooring, sorry, the underfloor stuff, so the utilities, so we need things like the pipe work as well as the electrical cable, all of that sort of thing, which is fine, and we'll still have to connect up the CCTV, but it's in there. That's the main thing. That is the main thing. What else do I want to mention? There's a couple more things patch notes wise. Oh yes, it was for, I believe, this might not be the only change, but I believe visitation now, it did say originally when you place visitation requires visitor tables and that's it, whereas now I think you can put booths in, so I think that'll be alright. I think we'll be able to do that. Over to bureaucracy as well. Yes, the warden picture has changed, so we now have got the proper warden. Just little things like that. There's going to be loads of little extra tweaks that we and changes will be found as we progress on. As I said, in the centre, I would really like to have changed the guard towers to be the bigger ones, them new ones, or maybe even put them in the yard. The bleachers, obviously, we need to put in the yard and stuff, but yeah, we're basically going to get this finished off. That is the objective for this and subsequent episodes, and then we'll be able to, well, start afresh with the new stuff. And well, I was gonna mention what we're gonna do, but we'll mention that closer toward the end of this series. You can see a lot of trucks coming in to bring in all of the new stuff. It's also kicking off somewhere as well, which is not good. In terms of, I actually don't know if that speed is any good. Let's go over to our intake, and we have full capacity up to our max sec there. And the doctor, please don't be infected prisoners. It's infected prisoners. So we've got infected prisoners. Brilliant. That is not what we wanted at this stage. In fact, that's something we never wanted at any stage, but certainly not now. So what I'm going to do is have to look around and find these infected prisoners, and that person is throwing up, but that's because of the drugs rather than ill. So I'm just going to have a quick look around. Actually, what we'll do is we'll say probably bang up, and we'll say everybody go back to their cells, and then we'll be able to treat them a bit better while they're there. It's gone up to 4 now, but most of them are going back, and still only 4. Still only 4, and there we go. So let's just pause it for a moment. I'm going to go through left to right and check out some of these. Some of them will be quite easy to see because they will be green, although they've got the backs facing us, as well as they've got like the face tattoos and things like that. And I don't know if that changes things. I don't know if that alters it so it's... I was going to say unreadable, but that's not the case. I don't know if it changes so it's we can't see it. Still only looking out for 4. Unknown reputation. I was going to say that person's soil or a light, but that's not the case. Not there. Not there. I believe it does show... I thought the name was Necromunda for a second then. Yes. They could have a case of hives. No, there. Not there. No, just a case of going down and checking around. I'm going to just do a quick pass. Quick pass first. Just to see if we can just spy out the prisoners that are ill. Well, that guy's bleeding a little bit, but that's not the sort of illness that we're looking out for. Well, I could have missed them. There's one. We have one there. Found one. Needs treating. Would it be best if I just send... If I just send the people over and just heal... There's another one. We found 2 of the 4. But we don't have full CCTV and other coverage. Okay, what I'm going to do, which might be better, is send over to there. And there. And there. And finally there. All of these. And it means that they're going to go in, hopefully start treating. Because they'll come along. Anyone that's ill, they'll treat. At least they should. Let's see what happens over here. So we know someone's ill around here. So they're going to come down and probably treat him. Or are they? What's the chances? Yeah, there we go. So we went and treated them. Also in here, same thing. So we've got treatment going on in there. Treatment going on in there. Just looking around here. Can't see... Is anyone else? No, no treatment going on in there. Nor in there. So they are treated. Still sick, but they are treated. Punish, lockdown for 12 hours. Same thing over there, Denning. Punish, lockdown, 12 hours. Open that door for them. And I'm still looking for the other people that need treating. And could it be a case of they can't see over here? It could be. Right, I think that one's fairly secure. Fairly clean. Let's go over here. I'm just going to micromanage one doctor, really. Because we can see everything in there. I can see another one as well. There. Hop. Ah, but they went straight past them. Why? Because they are treated as well. Oh, excellent. So they have done that. So, punish, lockdown, 12 hours. So that's 3 out of the 4 treated. The question is, where's the other one? And have they already been treated is the question. The answer to that is maybe. I'll send them in here. Just in case. There's a possibility that they need treatment. There they are there. Seen them. Seen them. Okay, so they're going to get locked down as well. And then we'll stop the bang up. There we go. So, we've treated the 4 prisoners, and we are now down to normal regime, which means that because we've given those lockdown of 12 hours, they shouldn't leave any further. They shouldn't leave at that room, so that's good. That is very good. Okay, so a bit of illness, just a little bit of illness, but overall, not too bad. Total infected is now 3, gone down by 1. This is good. Down to 2. And that'll slowly go to 0. As the feeding of the prisoners. Should be fine. Looks like the other infected prisoners, for some reason, are taking a bit more time to recover. Could just be the delay of me having to move the doctors around and such. Could be that. It could be that. Yeah. Should also go ahead and retrofit some of these common rooms with... What do we want? Bookshelves. Insufficient funds? Okay. Yeah, get the bookshelves in because those provide literacy needs, which I think we do have those needs. Luxuries and literature, yeah. There you go. Luxuries is always going to be a problem because nobody has money to buy things. And to be fair, we don't have a shop. And we stop a lot of the contraband anyway. Why is that guy pissed off? Steve the guard is really annoyed. Apparently there's a big food need. That does definitely say staff canteen. Which I'm hoping that's also going to get altered at some point. Is that broken? Is it broken? It could be. It could be broke. It's normally the first thing to break, to be fair, after updates. The staff canteen has always been a massive problem. Let me dump... sorry, not search. I dump all... Oh, I just searched the food trays and there was loads of stuff in there. I've ordered it for... I've ordered them to dump all the stuff in the food tray. There is loads of money just came in. What I'm going to do is hire... 6 more cooks. Just because we need to get that sorted. Let me double check the logistics menu. Oh, that's also been altered as well. So you can see now we've got in a very bright colour, in a block colour as well, what can be worked, what is being worked, and what can't be worked. So that's in there as well. Food distribution, yep, that's still a bit of a nightmare to look at. Laundry, yeah, all fine. And then room quality, which, has that been changed? I think it has been. It does look quite nice. Yeah, you can see like a lot of the dirt and stuff has been removed. So if I close that down, yeah, I'll take some of the shadows off and such, so it's a lot easier to see. There we go. It looks like this is working now. I don't know whether or not that was to do with the stacks of food trays or the lack of people we had. Could be in either or, really. Could be in the staff problem there. Let me just put in the automatic door openers on that one, and also utilities, electrical cable, and it's going to be this one that's going to be powering this up. So are we just going to run it from down here? I think we are. Just going to run it across to there, straight across to the back, like so. And then how did we do that? Well, we just ran it up like so into there. That then powers the rest of that up in terms of large piping. I'm going to go down to there, and then once again over to there, and then the rest of it too. Good. Now here's a question. Planning. Okay. Go over to deployment, patrols, magenta. Yeah, it's easy to see. Originally, when you were going to do planning, sorry, when you were going to do patrols where there was plans, or like round here where stuff wasn't built, it was a nightmare. You could hardly see anything. Whereas now, you can. Excellent. So far, first impressions are very good. Lots of quality of life improvements, lots of nice little changes there. Let's door control system this up. There we go. So that's now in. Sadly, it won't function because we don't have the power cable yet. Even though what's happening for the most part is people are getting escorted in. Speaking of that, having a quick look around, are there any traits we should be aware of? Stokel, fearless, volatile, strong, instigator, unknowns. Could be some members that I've missed, like ex-law enforcement. The advantage with ex-law enforcement is that it's quite long as a trait, so you can generally see it. You can generally see it on the tags there. But yeah, I'm not seeing. Very quick look, obviously, I'm not seeing anything like that. Right, so they are still running all of the power cables and so forth. We have not got the patrols in and around here. I will do that shortly. What I do want to do is... Oh, what have we got going here? A little bit of the old fighting. Okay, fine. I want to decrease the bank loan. Oh, I can't. I need to pay back quite a bit. I don't have enough. And one death. Where? There. They're not there anymore, surely. It says there. Guessing they're in the morgue? No? Have they been taken out? Well, yes, they have been taken out, but have they actually been physically taken out of the building is what I meant. There must be. There must have been. I don't know what that was all about. I should really double check gangs as well. Looking around. Only seeing members in here. All the lieutenants and leaders are in here. Okay, that's fine. That's not too bad. Very colourful, that, isn't it? Right. So, another death in parole. Oh dear. Yes. We did have someone patrolling around there, but I think we did remove them. Anyway, I think we are going to leave the episode there. That has been danger level going up. Which leader is it? Morgan. There we go. That has been a little bit of Prison Architect. Obviously, mainly at the start of this video, going through the Slammer update. Like I said, first impression's good. Loads of new stuff. That alone is welcomed. This obviously is a free update, I should have pointed out. It's not anything you have to pay for, no DLC, nothing like that. The only thing that you have to do is, in order to get one item, I believe, I think it's the Guard Pavilion, I think it's the Guard Pavilion, you need to sign up to need to log into the Paradox launcher, which is now on the game as standard, so that might sort of rub people up the wrong way, but personally, yeah, it's just you sign in. I've got many hours on Stellaris and Hearts and other things I have an account, so it doesn't really bother me too much, but there you go. Yeah, you have to do that, you get some other things. I think it's all in the patch notes. As always, links will be in the description, so you can check it out yourself. And next episode, we'll go ahead and probably get a lot of the remaining bits done. We're talking things like the visitation here, the top and bottom common room. This will be built so we have another parole. We probably won't bother with the library or whatever, and a bit of flooring. So we might even be on our last episode next episode, but we'll see how we get on, and then we'll go from there. As always, hope you have enjoyed the video and the series thus far. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.